in digital media marketing, ad sales, and to create commercials for small and national businesses. Visit clovercrestmedia.com for more information.
Yeah. It messed up.
You ready?
Yeah. You good?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. This show is brought to you by Clovercrest Media Group, which is a full-service media company offering audio and video production, live streaming, creation and production of TV shows, radio shows, and podcasts. Clovercrest Media offers services in digital marketing, ad sales, and they create commercials for small and national businesses. So visit Clovercrest Media for more information. And on to our show. Again, this is our first time that we're using YouTube away from Facebook. So I am your host, Ovi Muniz, and my partner in crime is Big Jace.
Yep.
All right. How you doing?
Doing all right.
All right. And before we even get our show started, we would like to make a special announcement for our veterans. So that's right. This Monday coming up is Veterans Day. It is important to the families and the military, and it honors them for their services. This holiday is a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. On behalf of the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show and the Clovercrest Media, we want to say thank you for your services.
Thank you.
All right, let's do a full recap of what had happened so far from Smackdown. We had the WWE Champion Brock Lesnar quitting Smackdown for the hunt to chase Rey Mysterio on Raw. We also had SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley defeating Nikki Cross. Keith Lee and Matt Riddle from the NXT confronted Sami Zayn, and they definitely embarrassed him. Tommaso Ciampa defeated The Miz. And Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox defeated Fire and Desire. And NXT champion Adam Cole defeated Daniel Bryan, which that was an epic match for a Friday Night SmackDown. Moving on to Raw. Rey Mysterio attacked WWE champion Brock Lesnar. For all the drama of Lesnar trying to chase Rey Mysterio everywhere, he finally got the bat coming at him. All right, Charlotte Flair and Natalya defeated the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, the Kabuki Warriors. Buddy Murphy defeated Cedric Alexander. Andrade and Selena and Vega were winners in their mixed tag team match. Rusev and Drew McIntyre ended in disqualification. We also had Shayna Baszler confronting Becky Lynch face-to-face in their personal interview. The OCs defeated Humberto Carrillo and the Street Profits. And the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, made their presence with another jobber match. And for the main event, once we thought that Seth Rollins and Adam Cole for the NXT Championship, we had thought that somehow, some way there was going to be a finish. All that turned into a big brawl between the Raw roster and the NXT. So, with all that said and done, shots were fired, Jace.
Yes, they were.
Shots were fired.
I love this. I loved NXT. I've actually been following NXT the past 2 weeks, so I don't know, something brought me back in, but I'm excited. I was excited when they announced NXT was going to be on Survivor Series, and just when we thought, oh no, there's something going wrong and superstars aren't going to make it over, they come up with this and steal the show on SmackDown. In my opinion, I like SmackDown more than Raw because it felt so new. You didn't really see it coming, but it was, regardless, it's great. And I know you've been tweeting, you've been saying now it's time for WWE to get their revenge. Raw and SmackDown join up, and we got NXT tomorrow, so let's see what's going to happen there.
No doubt about it. I mean, Triple H is the ringleader of all this. Okay, so that even comes to question right now. Let's look at a business perspective. Okay, Triple H grabbed the NXT roster. This guy is the guy that's leading the charge. Okay, goes to SmackDown knowing that there's only limited rosters there. Okay, brings NXT to fulfill the holes that SmackDown had, and they eventually took over Buffalo. Okay,
yeah,
that was insane. Okay, and meaning insane means this was the brilliant idea. However, okay, who is now going to run Raw and who is going to run SmackDown? Which leader is going to go head to head with Triple H? Triple H can't do everything on his own. Somebody needs to confront him. Is it going to be Shane McMahon? Is he going to come back and turn babyface?
I don't know.
All right. Is his wife going to show up? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though she showed up only for a brief moment on SmackDown about how the woman's evolution made history once again at Crown Jewels. All right. But is there going to be a family brawl, that will take it to another level?
Well, I think based on what we saw on Monday Night Raw, it seems like Triple H and Seth Rollins made it clear that it's Seth Rollins and Triple H for at least for Raw versus NXT. I would guess that Roman Reigns is going to be that guy for SmackDown, but who knows? Maybe Daniel Bryan, maybe someone else, but I feel like it's going to be superstar versus Triple H, because granted, the NXT guys, they are stars, they are studs, and I would love, they can get in. You saw it on SmackDown with Ciampa going back head to head with the Miz on the mic, but you do need someone like Triple H to be that head, to be that guy to introduce the NXT guys to the Raw and SmackDown fans who don't watch NXT.
So I know a lot of people don't want to see Shane McMahon come out because all the stuff that he had done previously. Yeah. Yes, we were so excited to see him the very first time, his first comeback. And then he ended up turning heel and he went overboard with it. But in this case, I will give him forgiveness and be like, hey, Shane, this is what happened. Let's have Shane versus Triple H. They don't even have to wrestle.
Yeah.
Wear the suit. Somebody else wears the suit. Let the superstars be superstars. Because why would you have Seth Rollins be Seth Rollins versus Triple H when they have Adam Cole? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has no issue facing Seth Rollins. They have that mutual respect that when it's time for game on, they will battle each other to death. And they will battle each other together. So right there and then, it's like, let them do their thing, but there's got to be somebody else that's not wrestling, wear the suit, and lead the charge.
Yeah, I do agree with that a little bit. I feel like they should bring back general managers or something like that for Raw and SmackDown. I don't know why they got rid of that. I do think I wouldn't like if they brought Shane back, especially because it seems really quick after he was quote unquote fired. So
there's nothing wrong with that. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, technically he was fired from SmackDown.
True.
He can still come back on Raw. They could meet ends and be like forgiveness, because everybody always gives second chances. That's what WWE believes in. Yeah. Everybody always get chances. You know?
Yeah.
So, but if it's not that, what other surprises can they come up with?
I don't know. I think it's just going to be invasion versus invasion. I feel like if Raw and SmackDown do team up to go to NXT tomorrow night, that it's going to be moving too quick, because then what else do we have for the build-up?
Oh, no. There's plenty of build-up. Okay. Trust me. You know what? You may say there's not, but there's not that much time. There's only a couple of weeks. There's only 2 weeks.
All right.
Until we get to Thanksgiving. Is that right? Yeah. Well, there's only a few. The 24th is before Thanksgiving. Yeah. So there's still plenty. Okay, because now, yes, shots were fired. But something has to happen now. Now we're moving in forward for Wednesday on NXT on USA, right? And not to change the subject, but if the WWE does this right, let's take those ratings away from AEW. Let's put them now on Channel USA, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and see Raw and SmackDown collaborate, okay? Yeah. I like to make this as a military term, okay? We're going to the objective. We're going to take over the objective. And once we clear house, we out. we'll go back to our brand show. That's what needs to happen from start to finish. Every time NXT take a step, boom, there's a Raw guy right there. Next turn, boom, a SmackDown. And I'm telling you, this is going to work. It is going to work. And I am so excited. But I want to see Triple H's face when that happens.
Yeah, I think Triple H will be expecting it. If for whatever, he'll be expecting the worst to come. But also, this is still a triple threat match. So I feel like, yeah, there are only a couple weeks, but there does have to be some sort of angle of Raw versus SmackDown as well. Yeah, they are going to team up because of NXT invading them, and that's something, but I feel like something's gonna break there, and you will see a little bit of Raw and SmackDown bumping heads. Who knows, maybe they might put The Fiend or something as the head of SmackDown, because we've seen how Seth Rollins seems to be the head of Raw, and he just lost to The Fiend. Or I don't know, but I do expect Raw and SmackDown to bump heads if both of them do go to invade NXT.
We have seen that when we've seen Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head for Survivor Series, that within their own team, they have issues. Now, they try their best to put that aside, but there's always that confrontation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's a little bit different because now for the first time, they're adding NXT to the business, and because the actions of NXT for what they did on Friday and Monday, you know.
Yeah.
Why not be a 2-on-1? And then after that happens, then on Friday, then we see Raw and SmackDown start getting a little controversy. You see what I'm saying? So now they're battling, and then that carries over to Monday of them two battling. Now they're killing each other, and NXT is now taking a break.
Yeah.
After their butt kicking that they're gonna receive on Wednesday night. And I'm hoping that that's what's gonna happen. Because I will truly be disappointed if they have a show NXT and nobody shows up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, who knows?
It's kind of hard to determine that's going to happen because of these events.
Yeah.
And again, you want to take the audience and focus on NXT right now? This is it. You know, for everybody that didn't know about NXT, this was an opportunity also to know who is now in NXT. And it will bring other people like myself. I'm so focused on Raw and SmackDown, getting all the business showing up. Now you got NXT. Now we're forced to know everybody that's in the picture. You know? So, with that in mind, okay, here's the good and the bad. All right? So we're moving on to what's already confirmed.
Hold on, before we go there, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
So you're not an NXT guy, right? You just said that. You haven't been watching it.
I haven't been watching.
Yeah. So who from this invasion has impressed you the most? Which is the one NXT guy that has impressed you the most?
I like Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I like the way he wrestles. I mean, I've seen him wrestle before, don't get me wrong. It's not all the time that I tune in NXT, especially when it was just pure WWE Network. I wanted him, when I just wanted him to be on Raw. Yeah. I thought he was gonna be the guy that would replace Shawn Michaels. He reminds me of Shawn Michaels, all right? And then when all said and done, and then they become their own brand, I was like, man, that's too late. Now he's stuck at NXT. And then they brought Finn Balor over to NXT, which is another disappointment because I wanted Finn Balor to battle with the Fiend.
Yeah.
Being that his last match he lost before he went on a 2-month break, he comes back for a short time, end up going to NXT.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect time, now that Bray Wyatt was the Universal Champion, for the Demon to come and reclaim what he was the first WWE Universal Champion, which he never lost. All right? He got injured and had to give up the belt the very next day. All right?
Yeah.
So I like him. I like Ciampa. I think Ciampa's a brilliant guy. And I've seen his documentary on the WWE Network that was very sentimental for the injuries he had gone through and what he puts in the ring. You know, it's fascinating the obstacles he had to go through. It's a tremendous story. I think those two, for me, in my opinion, are one of the best wrestlers they have right now in NXT.
Some guys, I've been watching a little bit more than you, I'd say. I've been off and on, probably like every other week I catch a little bit. But Keith Lee, dude, that dude is insane.
Did you see the ending of Raw?
Yes, I did.
This guy, now, he is not as big as the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
But even the Viking Raiders do the same thing. They fly high. But this guy came and he launched in the air. And to be able to do that flip.
Wait till you see him in an actual match. It's jaw-dropping. If you got time, go on YouTube, type him versus Ricochet in Ring of Honor. It is insane how he can keep up step for step with Ricochet. But also, I think there's so much good talent on NXT, and we only saw a fraction of that. We didn't see Johnny Gargano there.
No, we did not.
Johnny Wrestling. So,
but now, watch this. Maybe some of these superstars are putting in reserve because of this. Now, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's start with SmackDown again. Brock Lesnar led the show.
Yep.
He quit. And when he walked, Paul Heyman had to reroute him to a different direction. And then guess whose face was there? Triple H.
Yeah.
He smirked. On Raw, who started the show? Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. He's chasing Rey Mysterio. Now he get batted up by Rey Mysterio. He's out of the picture, and guess what happens? All of a sudden now NXT start coming in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio got a locked match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship for the Survivor Series. They're out of the picture. They're not even in it. So let's go to NXT. You said Gargano. He probably won't be in it because he might be in a match strictly just NXT.
Yeah,
if that's the case.
Right now he's the guy Finn turned heel on.
All right.
So him and Finn.
So maybe them two now.
Finn.
Now we mentioned Finn Balor. Now there is rumors, and this is all on Twitter. They got a 24-hour ultimatum, right, of Aleister Black for Raw, The Fiend for SmackDown, and the Demon Finn Balor for NXT for the triple threat match for Survivor Series.
We're about.
Should that happen? Well, I'm just saying we might find out by tomorrow.
That's a dream match. That's something that'd be really cool to see. But the way Survivor Series has gone in the past, what we've seen there, I think we're gonna end up seeing 3 belts. I mean, Adam Cole versus The Fiend versus, I guess, AJ Styles.
I see. That's the thing, is that I don't see that happening. And the reason why is because if the tradition of the Survivor Series is you always have the 5-on-5 of the best of Raw, the best of SmackDown. One, not to say that that's something similar is going to happen for the Survivor Series 5-on-5-on-5.
Well, that's going to happen.
You know, elimination type deal.
That's going to happen.
Or let's do this, because it's already divided when it comes to who's matching with who. Right? If you look in there, you had the tag team champions there. You had the tag team champions. Everybody got into this brawl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you have a triple threat match for the tag team champions. We have a triple threat match for the women's title.
Yeah.
Okay? But Adam Cole already faced off with Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan. Was not to say that there's a triple threat match within them 3. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe.
And then maybe it's not for any belt.
Yeah, but I feel obviously there's going to be the typical Survivor Series match of the 5 versus 5 versus 5, triple threat version of that. But Survivor Series to me has always been about champion versus champion. The main thing going into is really bragging rights.
Right.
But yeah, so I think that's what we're gonna see something like like I said, The Fiend versus Adam Cole versus AJ Styles, and then there's NXT also has the North American Championship, so you can do that versus the IC Championship or something. But I don't know. I think we're heading more towards that road than anything. I see with the belt. I obviously Aleister Black, Demon Finn, and The Fiend, that would be a phenomenal match. But putting the belt in there to I don't think that's going to happen.
To put the belt for, you talking about Adam Cole?
No, The Fiend, the Universal title.
I don't see The Fiend. If anything, if this dream match does not happen, right? I don't see The Fiend even interacting in the Survivor Series. To be honest with you.
No, I mean, might not.
Because he's that type of guy. He's gonna reach out. He's gonna find you. The fight's not coming to him. And who's willing to go and chase The Fiend right now? Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. He picked a fight with Seth Rollins. He's picking fights for everybody. It just happened that Seth Rollins tried to step up, and at the end, he ended up losing the title.
Also, I don't know why this just dawned on me. But we might not see an invasion tonight from, tomorrow night from Raw and SmackDown. We might not see it the next week. But the day before Survivor Series is NXT War Games. That's a
brilliant idea.
NXT
I see what you're getting at right now.
Yeah.
I see.
Also, I mean, if you are going to involve NXT and they do have a show right before that, that could be interesting to see how banged up people are and that stuff. That might cause some issues. I know that we've seen Takeover and then the next day people go into the Royal Rumble, but
right.
So we will see. We'll see what happens.
That's a great point.
That's interesting.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, my favorite coming into this is SmackDown. They're going to be on top. They're going to have the most wins coming into, after Survivor Series, SmackDown is going to be on top. That's just my opinion.
I think, last year, what was it? 6-1. SmackDown only got one win.
SmackDown's won the last, wasn't it SmackDown? Well, we'll do some research later on that. More on that on the show.
But I think right now the way things are playing out, how Triple H is in the corner and it doesn't seem like anyone else is in the corner of SmackDown and Raw, and how NXT is currently in the Wednesday Night Wars with AEW, this seems like a perfect point. Raw and SmackDown started it. I think Survivor Series will continue it. The Raw and SmackDown giving NXT rub and having more wrestling fans tune into NXT than AEW. This is, we talked about it. People have talked about it ever since AEW first started, and this whole idea of the Wednesday Night Wars became, we could see top stars start going to Wednesday nights. And that might be something we see. If not, this is a perfect opportunity for all the rub to be given to NXT. And I think NXT going in after what has just happened, going into Survivor Series, I think NXT is the favorite.
NXT drew first blood twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you start something, you better finish it. The thing is that they haven't finished anything. They didn't face the entire roster yet. We haven't seen Roman Reigns. We haven't seen The Fiend, if The Fiend is going to be involved. We haven't seen anybody else. Where is Braun Strowman? Okay? We're talking about people, and WD has signed some more wrestlers, right, that we don't even know if they're going to be on Raw or SmackDown. So I think NXT should be careful because NXT is not a big roster. Raw and SmackDown are. So, yes, they drew first blood. They drew it, again, limited roster on Friday, okay? They did it all right. But at the end of the day, whoever comes on top will be either Raw and SmackDown, which I still predict is going to be SmackDown. But they put themselves in a situation that they wish they didn't. And it's gonna hit them hard. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay. Well, you brought it into military terms about the invasion that NXT had. Mm-hmm. I think of it more as a primal level. a lion picking off the weak of the herd. That's what happened
Right.
Friday night.
But when the big boys start showing up, guess what's going to happen? They're going to put them in their place. You stay in your lane, dear little kids.
Well, Raw is supposed to be the A show, and NXT went in and did work on Raw.
You're right.
So I think they will be able
But
to.
who did they do work on, and who was missing? That's all I'm saying.
They did work on the number one superstar WWE has right now in Seth Rollins.
If you consider that they did a work on, and technically, Seth Rollins was about to win that match, and they interfered, and then the rest of the group showed up. So in reality, there was no winner or loser compared to SmackDown. And SmackDown lost to NXT. On Raw, it was even it out because technically, Raw was already prepared for a situation to happen.
Yeah, it was even, but who gets the rub? Who gets the benefit from the interaction? NXT does.
For now.
Raw doesn't get any benefit from... Seth Rollins doesn't get any more famous from beating Adam Cole or from taking on Adam Cole. Adam Cole gets more notoriety from taking on Seth Rollins.
We'll see. We'll see. There's plenty of story to talk about. There's more development between now and the day before the Survivor Series. You have a great point there when NXT Takeover, right? But something really has to happen to be on their show. I'm just telling you. It just they cannot go quiet. But yes, maybe they were getting ready. Maybe they'll be ready and they don't show up, Raw or SmackDown, okay? Or one or the other. However, maybe they'll wait until they put their guard down and then hit them where it hurts. That could be a possibility, and that'd be the most smartest move. We're moving on now to what confirmed matches we have so far. Okay, so we have Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
I called it.
You did.
I called
it. You called it on our last podcast, the post Crown Jewel. You stated it that this is a sign of Rey Mysterio going for the championship belt. You're on point on there. However, there is still time for Brock Lesnar to heal from the bats that he got received on his legs. Okay?
Yeah.
What else can happen that could favor Rey Mysterio?
I mean, Kane is still a factor. I understand that there was that atrocious match and people are sour on that. But I think not seeing Kane for a little bit, it will help him. And then if he does show up at Survivor Series, and I think this is I think this match is winnable due to a disruption or something for Rey Mysterio. And this would be a perfect championship reign for Rey. He gets the belt one day, Brock Lesnar comes back, wins it back. That's a Rey Mysterio type championship.
No different than John Cena, which we always keep mentioning his name, John Cena. But his son Dominic, he's healthy. He's back. You know, he's been seen behind the scenes, so one not to say that he comes and help his dad win the title.
Yeah, Dominic or Kane. I mean, yeah, I think that'd be interesting.
We have Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Baszler, the brand champions is what I call it. Triple threat match. We haven't. Bayley got ambushed by Baszler after her title defense. Well, we have Lynch and Baszler face to face, no action, just words. I mean, this here looks in favor for Becky Lynch.
See, you say that, but I am obviously just in the ring. If it were a cage match, if nothing else, if the doors were closed and there's no outside interference at all, yeah, you got to go Becky. But if you look, Bayley has Sasha Banks in her corner. And also, since you haven't been watching NXT, Shayna Baszler, I don't know who the two girls are. I know
she has a crew. Yeah.
She has a crew.
Right.
Their names just, I can never remember them. But she has people. So that looks in favor just number wise of Shayna Baszler. Also, I mean, this is going to be the Survivor Series is going to be a real moment to shine for NXT. I think NXT has been the best brand for a while now. They have been consistently there's no real slumps like there are with the Rusev and Bobby Lashley thing, the Shane McMahon push. There hasn't been anything that bad that makes you go, what is WWE doing?
Right.
But I'm just interested to see how all this stuff plays out, because there are other factors here.
The one thing that drew me a little different about Becky Lynch is she never said that she was the man during the interview. She stated that she's going to show who is the baddest woman in WWE. Okay? Yeah. So there's been a while since we ever heard her say woman. So do you think now that the term the man is now over with?
No, I don't think so. The man is going to continue until... I don't know. She is still the man. Becky Lynch is still the man. It's going to continue. It's her gimmick now. So she says she's still the baddest woman or whatever, but she still is the man.
Okay.
I also think maybe some of that might have something to do with Shayna Baszler being a legitimate mixed martial artist. She comes from the MMA background. She's trained with Ronda Rousey. So there is actual non-WWE credentials there.
Well, it'll be a surprise if we see... it'll be a surprise to see more female superstars coming out for this.
Yeah, I
really do. Like I said, it's not over. I think there's still more surprises that's going to be handed to NXT. But this is the best thing for the women's evolution, to have this pot stirring up right now, and I'm loving it. And I told you from the beginning, there are a lot of more females in the roster in WWE, and I think having this Survivor Series, getting these females that we haven't heard from, to bring them out, this is the best opportunity right now. Yeah,
also, going into that match the day before on NXT TakeOver War Games, Shayna Baszler is actually in that War Games match. So you don't know what happens with those types of matches.
She might lose the belt.
Yeah, she might. But I think, War Games, that's a tough match to go. I'd put that on the same level as Hell in a Cell. So we might see maybe something goes wrong. Maybe she isn't able to compete. So there is also that stipulation.
Okay, more to follow on this. Another confirmed match is a triple threat match for the tag team division. The Viking Raiders, the Revival, and the Undisputed Era. I've been wanting to see the Viking Raiders and the Revival go at it officially with no interruption. But now you added the Undisputed Era. They've been having they're one of the group that drew first blood.
Yeah.
So I don't really take them very seriously compared to Adam Cole, to be honest with you. Those are a bunch of followers. They remind me of the OCs, and like I said, that's just my opinion for what I've seen, the shows that I've seen on NXT. But I don't think that either any of them, they can't handle the Viking Raiders. And Viking Raiders is still fresh coming out of NXT. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm telling you, the Viking Raiders, now they lost the title because they were coming over to WWE. And now they're the tag team champions.
I understand that.
The Viking Raiders are going to show them who is the real tag team champions.
All right. I think this is by far going to be the match that steals the show. You just talked a bunch of crap about the Undisputed Era, but Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish know how to put on a show. Don't get messed up.
I didn't say they didn't know how to put on a show. I just said that they're not gonna hang with the Viking Raiders.
Okay, I think the highlights of this match are gonna be the Revival versus the Undisputed Era when they're in the ring together, because like they say in boxing or MMA, styles make fights. Those two styles together in the ring, I think would be spectacular. The Viking Raiders, they're a powerhouse. I do expect them to get the win in this match, but they are just electric. They're going to have their moments. But the actual head-to-head that I'm most excited to see is the Revival against the Undisputed Era.
Okay. Rumors. Let's talk about rumors for the Survivor Series. We have Bronson Reed from NXT calling out Samoa Joe. And that was on an official Twitter feed from Bronson Reed, calling out and posted his picture, Samoa Joe's picture, offering a fight.
I like Bronson Reed. He's another one of those new era, like Giants, new era powerhouses that isn't afraid to go to play with the ropes. He's a big guy. But I just don't know how healthy Samoa Joe is. He obviously had that, I believe it was an arm injury. I don't know if he's fully healed from that or what. That would be an interesting match. I would love to see it, but I think Bronson needs... I think it's a little bit too much of a stretch right now. Talking about the injury of Samoa Joe, as well as Bronson really hasn't done anything. He was in that NXT breakout tournament. He didn't win, but other than that, he hasn't really done anything in NXT.
Okay, then the other one was, again, we don't know if it's going to be official, whether this is going to happen, but Aleister Black, who is always wanting to pick a fight or have somebody pick a fight with him, The Fiend, who is the Universal Champion, and then we also have the Demon Finn Balor. But Aleister Black, we haven't really seen him on television, and when he does, is against a jobber dude. The Fiend just come off victorious. We're still waiting for his Funhouse to come out, which hopefully we'll see on Friday. But it'll be pretty funny if the Funhouse ended up showing up in NXT.
Yeah,
that would be hilarious.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
And then, of course, like you mentioned before, Finn Balor has his match. He has his storyline already in there. So it's kind of hard to see if those three will mingle together for the Survivor Series. But I definitely want it. I really do. But the thing is that adding Aleister Black, which we still haven't seen him, I would rather see him after he had an epic match with somebody.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree with that.
Right now, since he's coming over to WWE, he had his tag team match with pairing up with Ricochet, but ever since they split up, it hasn't been the same for Aleister Black. And I'm thinking, and I'm hoping that he'll do bigger and better things for WWE Raw. Yeah. So, but there is still, and you know WWE, they always want to stack the list. You know, 7-8 matches here and there. We are still waiting, and this is just the first week. Yeah. Okay, and the week is not even complete. The week is usually complete after Wednesday because they have the thing of starting it on Fridays now.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first week not over yet. The road to the Survivor Series. NXT has been dominant right now. How is it going to end tomorrow? We have to wait and see on that. Should Raw and SmackDown do show up, that's going to be fascinating. But like you said, if they don't show up, they're going to be like snipers, just waiting for their opportunity. And when it's time to hit them hard, they're going to hit them good. And if it's at the NXT Takeover, oh well, now we will. Hey, now we know who's really going to be, which brand's going to survive the most. So we'll see on that. Before we carry on, I also want to say on behalf of the Clovercrest Media, this show is also brought to you by the Keys to the City. Ted and Trevor Keys are the hosts of the show. All they do is talk about sports, and when they aren't talking about sports, they're always arguing. Whether it's here in the studio, whether it's outside, anywhere, they always go at it with each other. You definitely got to listen in to these two brothers because they, on a daily basis, go head to head. That's right. That's Keys to the City. All they talk about is the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball, and of course, college football. So that's Keys to the City, and you can catch them on clovercrestmedia.com. So, all is said and done. We're just gonna end this show this way. This is the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. The first time we broadcast it on YouTube. We're gonna try to make this every week as possible. But you can also you could see us and hear us on not only on YouTube but on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We also do our podcast on Spotify and Google Podcasts as well. So on behalf of myself, Ovi Muniz, my partner, Big Jace, thank you for hearing us. We'd like to hear more about it. So if you have any comments about our show or what we talked about, leave a comment and we'll definitely give you a shout out. And one last thing, Monday Night Raw is coming to Hartford, Connecticut, December 30th. That's right, Monday Night Raw. And HHW show will be there. So we're also giving out free tickets. And if you want to know how to earn those tickets, all you have to do is listen into our podcast every week and tune in. And we're going to announce our winners the week after the Survivor Series. That's right. The week after Survivor Series, we'll announce the winners. All you have to do is listen to our show, find out the clues on how you can earn 2 free tickets for you and for somebody else to check out at the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. That's right. December 30th, Monday Night Raw. Save that on your calendar, and who knows, you might be on TV.
Yeah.
So on behalf of our show, thank you for listening. Thank you for checking us out. Until then, I'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.